Welcome to the Real Talk with Missy and Fabio.
The honest side of real estate with all you must know to survive in this market.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our podcast, Missy and Fabio again. So, Real Talk. Today we have two guests that Missy been talking to about them for so many times. Oh, you need to meet Will and Maria. Will and Maria. So I have the great opportunity now to meet you guys, and this is going to be a very tasty.
A tasty.
Yeah, very, very tasty.
Yes.
Talking.
Keep it with some flavor.
That's right. That's right. So I met Will at Blackstone Coffee. How many years ago?
Wow, it's
Oh
been.
my gosh, it's a long time.
It's been like almost 10 years. It's been like 10 years. Yeah.
Yes, because I'm a coffee freak.
Oh,
You're a coffee
really?
freak.
I didn't even know that.
Will is an amazing quiche man. So
Yeah.
I was like, who makes this quiche? And Will's in the back. And I'm like, so what's your secret? And he says, I put my hands in it. I'm like, okay.
Literally.
Well, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
It
You
gives
gotta
it
mix
the
it up.
body, right?
That's right. You got to mix it up.
Yes.
You know.
So I wanted you to come today and share your story because you guys are evolving from making quiche and food trucks and restaurants, and Maria's got some new stuff up her sleeve, and I just want everybody to know who you all are.
Well, you guys are famous anyway. Everybody knows about you guys.
not-
Yeah, I know.
We're not famous. I don't know if famous is the right way
Okay,
to look at it.
influencer.
Notorious might be
We're
it.
locally grown.
No.
you're,
Notorious?
Growing.
you're well loved.
Wow.
You're well loved.
There's a lot of people talking about your food.
Yeah, well, so, yep, food's our thing, but we've been in this community for, well, actually, my great-grandmother came here in '89 from LA. So this has been kind of a second home for me since the 80s. And then it just became our home in the late 90s. So we've been here for over 20 years. And it's been interesting to see it grow and like to grow with it and to like, you know, just from where we came here with, I don't know what our visions were. What were you doing?
Oh, no, we were literally just talking about this. We were just talking about telling somebody the story, just really brief, that they moved here 27 years ago with 2 suitcases on a Greyhound bus.
Oh my gosh.
And
You got off the Greyhound bus?
Yes, Maria picked me up at the Greyhound station in Charlottesville.
Thanks, Ricky Lake. That's another story.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes. So, you know, for Maria and I, it goes back way, you know, since we first started.
And
But
yeah,
How old were you then? About?
20,
we were,
19, 20.
Yeah, we were in our early 20s, late teens.
Yeah.
19,
94,
20.
95. So,
I
20.
was, so graduated
20.
right out of high school.
Babies.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because you were a sophomore at UVA still.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah.
So you got a Latino in the house. Huh?
Ah, yes.
Yes.
Yep.
And Maria's what brought me to Virginia.
Oh.
I was living, we met in Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
And so I knew a cousin of hers, and I was working in the mall, and she came, and
She real
yeah, you know, so
Was it love
I
at
don't
first
know what
sight?
well, no, so it was just
Something crazy.
real brief. So we never exchanged numbers. They left, and then her cousin's like, I have his number in this jar. So Maria said it was this big, you know, those old like Maxwell House coffee can,
But the big one.
the family size. And so there was a bunch of numbers with no names on them. So Maria pulled out 2 numbers out of that big container that was full, and the very first one, it was a pager. So you know, back in the
Yeah.
94, a pager was a pocket full of quarters.
Yeah.
And in Puerto Rico, there were dime. It was a dime in Puerto Rico, you know. And so,
It was his number. So that was
That's,
crazy.
that's a great.
Wow.
and the story began. It's literally like the Lord of the Rings. The story begins in a very humbling place, and then you know you go through some mountains, some valleys, some rivers, some rapid runs, you know, and then we're here now.
Let me ask you a question because you guys work together.
Very
Yeah.
much so.
So tell me about that because one time I worked with my wife and I said you have to you have to quit. I can't work with her.
I've
We
been
fired
fired.
each other- yeah.
I've been fired before.
I've
I've walked out on the job.
both ways.
Oh, all right.
We've definitely fired each other.
Oh, you see, I'm a normal person.
I
though,
watch
guess.
your some days when you're doing your lives,
Yeah.
and you can tell you're just like, dude, move on. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, you can just see it in your eyes, and he's behind you dancing and cooking and doing whatever.
Well, and it's funny because we just started working together like this, and really wasn't until I left my job at Reach So that was about what, I don't know when that was, 2018 or something like that. And then we were working together full time all the time, every day. And so that was eye-opening.
Yeah.
And it really was it was fun. It was a challenge. There was challenges, but it's gotten much. I think we've definitely evolved to a place where
transform.
Yep.
Do you know your boundaries?
Yeah.
Very much so.
And I think that you learn to, it's boundaries change. Like you just learn to respect the other person to the point where you're not necessarily looking at boundaries. You're looking at the person.
Yes,
Right.
So you can kind of sense. I know there's days when I'm like, okay, I'm going to be working over here today.
I'll be chopping my onions over
Yep,
here.
I'll
You
be
stay
over
over there.
So what used to be the closet to a refrigeration when we first moved into the spot, we had checked because it's like little nook and then the bathroom. So we turned it into an office. And so I put a curtain right there, a little bamboo.
Do you
curtain.
remember when we went to look at the spot
Oh yes,
the first
that's right.
time?
So yes.
What a hole.
Right.
Yeah.
Just like, it was terrible.
And you haven't been to it.
Yeah, I have. I came back.
Oh,
well,
No, we've changed it about 20
Oh, really?
times.
Yes.
It's different.
in the last 6 months?
Yes.
Oh, cool. Well, we have to take a
Yes.
road trip.
Yes. And so we turned it into a little office, and Maria go, she'll close that curtain. And then
That's all it takes is
the
a
sound of how the curtain closes is the indicator. The amount of time
that you have to talk to back.
Exactly.
Yes, that makes sense.
That's very true.
So tell us about getting, like from the beginning, the food truck and how that evolved. I remember you were at Blackstone and working in the kitchen and stuff there, and you were talking to people about business plans and trucks and...
So it was actually, I've always had the plan to, I always wanted to own my own business. We just never, I drove Maria crazy. Because technically, we actually started a business in Charlottesville when we lived there together a long time ago.
It's gonna bring
we
that
started,
one back.
There was a contract and everything.
We
It
still
was,
have
called,
info.
it was called Bad Nine Club. It was a golf clothes apparel.
Oh.
And then the logo was a
Broken 9.
broken flag. It was broken. It's called Bad Nine.
I love it.
Yeah.
And so we had polo shirts, we had t-shirts, we had a visor. And so anyway, but it evolved. Everywhere I worked, that's what I wanted to do. Landed in Blackstone, and of course, I knew cooking was a thing.
Was your thing?
Well, yes.
Actually,
Your thing?
it really wasn't. I mean, we both cooked, but in the beginning, I did most of the cooking
Yes.
in the very beginning. But then when I went to school full time, he took over in the kitchen because I was never
And that was a
home.
learning process right there.
Yeah.
That was a very learning process.
And no, but you even when in Lexington, when you went to my aunt, food has always been a part of everything. And so remember, you cooked salty chicken.
Yeah, that's what I said. Very much so.
Salty
What
chicken.
is salty chicken?
So growing
Something you don't
up,
want.
my
It's
parents,
what?
Something you don't want.
Okay, never mind.
growing up, my mother and father, my father made this dish. It'll be yellow rice with salchicha, which are the Vienna sausages in the rice, and fried chicken. And then the way he makes the fried, they put the slits in there, the seasoning, whatnot. So I remember the process. So I was like, I could do this. It came out very salty because I didn't realize how strong adobo was at the time. And it was like to the point where it dried up any kind of moisture you had in your mouth.
You couldn't eat it. It was not edible.
So we can say that you have like a lot of influence from you guys from Latino or the fusion, or how do you guys?
So I know on my side, Puerto Rican because my mother and father, but we being military, we've traveled a lot. So Germany, love their food. And then Maria, her parents. Her grandmother is from Louisiana. Her grandfather's from Galveston, Texas.
Okay.
And then she's Creole. And so that brings a lot of different flavors too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But what's been cool in this whole thing that we started together is just what we've learned is there's actually a lot of commonality in our food together, where it originated from.
And food has always been a part of our togetherness. Like
Right.
food's always been like going out to eat.
Yeah.
Something you
I can
enjoy
remember
together.
like when we first were going to Augusta, going to some of those Chinese buffets together. We'd be talking over buffet, talking about the food, like
What we
it's
like,
good,
what we
we
didn't
like.
like, right.
So food's always been something for us. And so I
And
think
movies.
And movies. But I think that because we're both very traveled, we like a lot of different kinds of food, and we appreciate other. And I grew up with my best friends being Filipino, so I was always eating Filipino food, and like, you know, I don't know if you've eaten that before, but it can range from like, you know,
Crazy good to
Yeah.
spicy.
or even
Pull
just
the
like
tissue
just
box.
crazy, like you're
Yeah.
eating like eyes or something, like, you know what I'm saying? So like there's different
That's not my kind of food.
levels, like, but you know, you're
But that's
right.
true. That's
Feet.
true. That's true.
Right. So
Chicken feet.
yeah.
Well, we eat that.
well, the duck
do?
egg.
Oh yeah, we
chicken
do.
feet?
I don't like it, but we
You
do.
see
we
it a
eat
lot
it.
in stews and soups.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, chicken feet have awesome bone marrow.
color.
That's what my
It's
sister
good
is all
flavor.
about.
Yeah,
the
they really-
chicken feet. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I don't think so.
But yeah, so food has always just been a part of how we have been together. And so it's just, he's always cooked and it's always good. And so because we love food, and then food trucks we were very involved like in the food truck scene in LA following that.
Right.
Food trucks were not a thing
Well,
here.
you were way ahead coming here.
Right. Food trucks
You
were
know.
not a thing here. It was
And
in
even
DC
before-
and it was like,
and actually, even before that, because even my parents been in the military, I was telling
Concession
Maria, my
trucks.
parents used to go very early for PT in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
so I had to go out, you know, and then they had the AFIS truck with the little
Yep.
concession
Yep.
trucks
Yep.
with the little metal back on the pickup. They fold up, have all the sandwiches. So, you know, I remember that from back in the '80s.
And in Hawaii, and even in Germany,
Mhm.
you know, they're all the carts and everything on the street too. So
Yeah, even though guys in Puerto Rico,
Mm-hmm.
I was joking with Maria when I retired. I'm gonna get a piragua, which is the big block of ice.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
to get the-
to shave ice.
I love that.
And then-
I love that.
the sound that everybody knows is the bring, bring.
That's right. Trucks here.
So food has been a big part of our
and then we
DNA
just
together.
and we decided to turn it into a business. So we started with the catering, and then that just took off from that point.
Right.
So
It's amazing.
So when you were doing the food truck thing, I mean, did you have backers? I mean, I'm trying to, because we have a lot of people that are going to be watching us that have dreams too. You know, that you can say, don't go there. Maybe you might want to go there, because you guys have done it a lot. You know, and in this day and time, you know, opening restaurants and things, you know, it's just
so
I think the biggest thing is really learning how to work with what you have first, because what happens is we get so focused on the big picture first, and we want everything. And
yeah,
then
you
learn
watch the great food truck race, and you're like, oh, I gotta have all of that.
right, and you
Right.
learn really quick that adds up. The cost is so you have to learn with what you have first.
And you have to perfect your you can't just, we see a lot of people want to start a food truck because they think it's easy and, oh, we'll make some food. And I mean, yes, there are food trucks where people just eat anything,
Right.
but you're not going to sustain. You're
not
not
gonna
going to be
acquire that
able
following.
to, right, you have to perfect your craft. You have to, you know what you're doing, and you have to know who you're serving.
Right.
You have to know your audience. So it's a lot that goes into it. And I think for us, it's been, we really did start out with one backer, really, and that's been, you know, it's been, and again, even still now, COVID was not easy.
That was with the truck only.
Yeah, and that was the truck only. So there's a lot that goes into, you know, when you're doing this. It's not an easy.
right.
It's kind of like everybody wants to be a doctor until you're a doctor, and then you're like, damn.
And I believe, you know, you have to allow.
Everybody wants to be a realtor until you're a realtor.
Right.
Yeah,
And
that's
guess
true.
what?
But you have to have a
easy.
passion for the kitchen, to be
Yes,
honest, because
yeah.
I made a mistake and I had a restaurant too, and I hate it every
Yeah.
single day because it's a lot of work.
Yep.
And if you don't know anything about the kitchen,
Yep.
I mean, you're in the wrong business, and
Right.
that's what happened to us. So I don't even want to see myself even, you know.
Well, and if you're not willing to clean your own grease trap, then
Yeah.
you can't have your own restaurant.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So you went from the catering to the truck, and then you needed more kitchen room. Then that's how the spot came around. Then
And it's funny because all those things you've seen us look at all those things before it all came into place too. And so, like you said, we started with the catering, really with Fred Exchange. It was the local nonprofit group here in Fredericksburg.
Yep.
They allowed us to cater some of their events, and then the center where I used to go for what was it? Open coffee on Fridays
Where was that?
on campus.
Oh yes. Okay.
And so I used to cook there for the students on Tuesday. That's where I learned how to budget for an audience. And so these little puzzle pieces added up. Again, working with what you have, and then learning frituras, all the empanadas that we make that people love.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't learn how to start making those till once we got the truck.
Right.
But
And now people put their orders in ahead, right?
Well, and yeah, we've perfected the recipe for sort of.
right.
So I guess you guys have like a different menu from seasons and stuff like that. What plate that you never have to take them out from the menu? Which one that you can say that?
But that's the wapabo.
Yeah, that's the one we started with.
That's the arroz con gandules.
Oh yeah,
with
yeah.
pernil, and then we go back and forth. We serve it with macaroni salad. So, but the more common at home was potato salad. We did
Potato
both,
salad, yeah.
but potato salad was the more common. And so that's it. That's the foundational plate right there. The arroz con gandules, pernil, which is the slow roasted pork
Or chicken. You get
or chicken, and then macaroni salad, and then the 2 plantains.
Yeah. Well, we, the Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico, we have kind of the same similar kind of food and stuff like that. And we have a lot of fusion because there's a lot of people from Spain, but at the same time from Africa. So we have a lot of stuff that's really great, the taste of both of them,
Yeah.
And you guys have one other thing. You guys have the influence of the French.
Yeah, we have the
Yes.
influence of the French.
That's like your household.
Yeah.
Got that
Yeah.
influence of the French.
Yeah.
And so they they have a lot of the foundational cooking there because of a lot of the French techniques.
Yeah, now it's a lot of people moving from Italy, so we have a lot of
Okay.
Italian restaurants. So kind of people is gonna look crazy with the pasta and stuff like
Okay.
that. So it's crazy. We have
Yeah.
so many
How it mixes
influence.
together.
Yeah. But it's just like in Puerto Rico and Cuba, we don't eat with spicy.
Yes.
And people kind of
don't
get
know.
me wrong when I
Yeah.
say no, I don't like spicy. We don't eat with
That-
spices.
We get that on the truck, and if I could probably, I put it sometimes on the menu. Nothing spicy.
Oh, really?
So that because we get that question every time.
becomes so
I can't eat
monotonous.
spicy. I can't eat spicy. And we're like, and he's always like, you're in luck. You're in luck. You're in luck. And I'm like, we did it especially for you. Right? But it's like people don't understand. So it's like and that's one of the things that we like about doing the food truck is that opportunity to engage with people and educate them on food. And,
Well, during COVID,
yeah.
you guys blew up,
Well,
right?
we had
Weren't you doing neighborhoods? during
so many
COVID?
trucks were though. We weren't the only ones.
But
Like,
I'm just
it
saying
became
that was a
yeah.
way of you sustaining your business that a
Yeah.
lot of people were faltering, and thank goodness you were able to do that.
Well, the food trucks became very popular in the neighborhoods because people got sick of cooking
Hello.
for their own.
Oh
food.
yeah.
And it just became, I think going
such
to the
open
Getting
restaurants was difficult, so
Right.
people weren't able to go and as much. And
Right.
but yeah, many of the food trucks here I think benefited, and we were among many. That had that opportunity to go into the neighborhoods. It was, and it was a challenge too, because we had to evolve to make it efficient for them and for us. It
And
was,
safe.
Definitely think outside the box.
yeah. There was some, it was a challenge too, though. So it was good, but there was still we had to learn a lot, like how to.
And we persevered. Because the challenge actually is more now. The
Yeah.
things are kind of going back to normal, but all the pricing is skyrocketing.
Yes.
And we still don't have access and availability to all the same supplies. I mean, we've had to take things off the menu because they're not making it anymore. So
Yeah.
we can't get access to ingredients.
And see, that's been the cool part about our growth too. Is I learned a lot from Don. Just making sure, make your nickel work.
That man knows how to make a nickel work.
He does. And so one of the biggest honors and privileges about Will's Place and Hit the Spot Kitchen is 85 to 90% of our kitchens we make it from scratch.
That's awesome.
We don't go by
So
pre-cut.
from Costco or whatever.
Well, we go to Costco
But you're
for
not-
vegetables.
Right.
We buy minimum from the frozen section.
And things like French fries, like we don't make our. I mean,
Right.
we
Right.
would if we could, but that's just too time consuming. We don't have
Right.
time. There's a process to doing French fries properly.
Right.
But like things like that. But our base ingredients, the majority of what we do, and we're going to be moving to hopefully making a lot more of our own in-house breads and things like that.
Okay.
So
Because right now I make the Mallorcas.
Uh-huh.
I make those from scratch
All
now.
that. They're beautiful.
And they come out. I've perfected it. It's come out great.
yeah, it's,
I have perfected it.
he really has. It is.
That's
it-
awesome.
It came out
though.
great because just looking at the pictures and opening it up because
It's
I don't know how many
amazing.
pounds of flour I went through trying to get it right. Even comparing it from the convection oven to the gas oven, and then just really play with it, and it's come out just right.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So let's say if somebody see you right now and they want to be like a food truck owner or stuff like that. What do you think of the mistake that you made, or what you can share information about that
I have
that
it.
can help people?
Go work on a food truck. No,
Yeah,
seriously,
that's it,
because
yes.
what Will did, one of the
what I did.
things, and again, Will's worked, and I always like to say he's done a lot more than what people are aware of. He has worked in so many places. That's why he knows so many people. And that's where he's been able to pick up, like, and people don't remember Regina's Pasta Factory, but he was the one making your pasta.
Okay.
So when we're making, he's perfected all of those things. So being able to have gone around, I'm sorry to jump in because it really was your but being able to go around and work as a barista and being assistant manager at Starbucks and a manager at Walmart and having all those different kinds of experiences have enabled him to be able to see a bigger picture.
Right.
And I think even though he did all of those things, and he was, and he could have been living the lap of luxury. Some of your friends are still their managers in Walmarts.
Right.
You could very well have taken that path, but he wanted something more, which was something he was developing for himself and for his family. And so by doing all of those different things, he's been able to grow his knowledge. But then, even though he's done all of that, he started his first food truck he worked on was with John Painter, UFO food truck. Making
I remember that one.
minimum wage,
Right.
humbled himself to work. This was John's vision that Will was building and working towards and supporting and in helping that. And he essentially humbled himself, because he could, like I said, we could be living in the Walmart lap of luxury. But it was that humbling that he went in and got that experience working on a food truck and getting that, and ultimately having to make a decision as to whether you were going to stay with John and help continue to take over his vision and build his, or start over again and
Build your own.
build your own. And it really, and I will say that it is not the lap of luxury. Even today, we have struggles. It is a struggle. They exist. It's not a pretty picture. So you can't just think that. And some people can, because if you've got a lot of backers and you're not doing it by yourself, you can come in and
we started this business with a negative account in the balance.
yeah, so for us to be able to be here to share our food, for people looking for us, for kids asking for us for their birthday party, which is like weird to me, it's crazy. It's like, really?
I didn't even know that.
Okay, you want this food? It's like, all right.
Or kids in a school project painting a truck at Will's place.
Drawing Will's place as part of their map. It's like that's a huge thing, but he's had to really work from the bottom and not be afraid to get dirty and clean a grease trap.
So this is like our population, though. Everybody wants to start where mom and daddy are. They don't realize you have to serve your time, get your street education,
Made mistake.
and make
lots of mistakes.
lose your money, do
Lose
whatever.
a lot.
Yeah, lose
You
your
have to
money,
grow,
lose your time,
or you're
lose
not
your hair.
worldly enough to. Once you have it in your bucket, what do you do with it then?
Look, I lost my hair before I started.
Yeah, so you got
I gave my hair back.
He's got it all right here now.
Yes, you got it all back.
That's awesome.
This is where we started.
Tell them about the spot. I don't think you're a secret. I mean, it's a little hidden spot back there. Who's your clientele?
We do try to stay kind of secret. I think he maybe not so much, but
No,
I'm like,
I like the way it
we gotta
is.
be able to manage growth.
Right. Well, it's tiny.
Yes.
I mean, it's like as big as this area, right?
Yeah, our
Yeah.
population is really the workers and the people who
So
are
what's
followers.
going on there? Tell our world about,
I'll let you, because you just
So-
talk to them all the time.
because they're growing. They're growing. Too.
Yes.
I've jokingly call it the Bowman District. I'm waiting for it to catch on.
We hashtag it.
I do hashtag
Yeah.
it, the
Yeah.
Bowman District.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So Bowman Center, the oldest, quick rundown, is the oldest industrial park in Fredericksburg. It was built in the 20s, early 20s.
What was there initially?
It was a cell phone factory. So
Cell phone?
Cellophone.
The cellophone.
It's still, there's still some.
Cellophone.
So
Oh.
window units.
Yeah.
You know that little phone they put so that way
Yes.
installation. That's cell phone.
Oh, not
So they-
cell phone.
Cellophone.
I got it. Okay.
They were the biggest manufacturers in the world. Matter of fact, the subdivision that's right next to the Valero, that subdivision was built because of that factory.
For
the
for
workers.
people that work there.
Because, and then the train yard being right there as
Yep,
well.
absolutely.
So fast forward, you got the two different owners. What's cool about our side is we have a historian on our side.
He might not want to be known too much.
Now remember, this is all public. So
I'm saying it's public
teasing.
knowledge.
I'm
It's
just
public
teasing.
knowledge,
But I
yeah.
know, but
I think that's awesome, though.
it's a historical.
So he wants to
context.
preserve it.
Well, we don't know the details.
We don't know.
Of that.
We
just
don't know what
that
he's gonna do, but the other
other side
side,
was owned by somebody else, yeah.
and so a big developer out of Richmond purchased the side, and they're turning it into 300 apartments. And they're keeping the historical preservations because it has historical preservation.
So are there apartments in it?
They're not yet. They're well.
The vision is there, and
No,
the funds are there.
Well, it's building.
It's
it's
building.
building?
It's
Oh,
building.
okay, very cool.
The first series of apartments should be ready. I say a year and a half.
Yeah, I
They're
don't.
working hard at it,
Okay.
and so
But right now, it's just workers. That's like our population is workers, people who work, and then our followers who know where we are.
Well, I need to know what it is.
The people who
because I
We're
don't-
gonna go.
The
Yeah.
sign
That's
that's
awesome.
on the side of the road that you might be like, what? What's
yeah.
back there?
So that's the future growth
I didn't-
that's coming.
So
But right
you're-
now,
so-
it's just an industrial park.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What else
Very
is back
old
there?
one.
There's Bowman's.
It's all industrial stuff. There's a
roofing company.
There's a roofing company. There's the guy Megan's
Oh, Megan Supplies.
Megan Supply. They do epoxy on the floor, right?
Okay.
That's a big one back there. There's a ballet studio back there.
Yes.
There's trucking companies.
Utz
And,
there's a little Utz
Yeah.
vendor back there.
and then there's little businesses. Like people have businesses like I have a therapy office in there. Well, I'm not doing it in there now, but therapy. There's massage people in there.
Okay.
There's
Okay.
So that's the other part that we have. So Maria's helping us develop this my kitchen, and she does.
Can we make a video that we are cooking the empanada so you can teach us to do the empanada?
Sure. So we do a lot of videos.
You know what
There's
empanada?
not room for all of us in that kitchen.
Well,
Do
we
I know
turn, you know.
empanada?
Oh, you do? I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
So your population obviously is going to increase there, especially when those apartments get full and start doing their thing. I know you said at one point you were thinking about something in the entry. There was like a little snack bar thing you were going to do, maybe.
It was something that was kind of presented, so we're still looking into it.
Hot dogs to go, or
Because they do want to put
Tacos.
food, they do want to put food on that side because of the apartments, and
Right.
then where one of the buildings is at is going to be a pool house and whatnot. So they brought it to our attention. They've asked us, so that's something we're looking into.
so what's your vision? Where are you guys? I know you started your world, and
We have big vision. It changed last weekend when he decided he wants to go back to school for coaching.
so we're not going to Cape Charles anymore and opening anything.
No,
Cape
that's
Charles-
always on the. That's always
Oh,
on
yeah.
the.
I think that's-
Selfishly.
Well, we
That's
went over there,
never
and to
going
be honest,
away.
there's not too many options. Even if
That's
they have a
never
really,
going away.
That's going away.
I love Cape. I
That's
would.
on. That's
Give
on
me
the.
hope.
No,
Yeah,
no.
no, that's never
Cape Charles
going.
is on the agenda.
That's always like, oh yeah, I love.
But we have to develop here
I've got
first.
stickers on my car already.
Really?
I
Yeah.
did. Yeah,
That's
like,
fun.
my sea turtles of Cape Charles, and I have some other stuff that says you're a cart lover.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that is so funny.
Yeah, we like.
It's
I
just
met
fun
the
over
owner. I met
there.
the owner. Smitty.
The golf cart
Yeah.
guy.
The
He
golf cart
knows
guy.
everybody and everything,
Yes.
for sure.
That's
so,
weird.
You want some poop about something?
He's the one.
Good.
Go see
Yeah,
Smitty.
yes, he is.
So what's your vision
So
this week?
well, just to continue to grow. We look at this. We do have another kitchen. We're not really. It's not for customers. It's more for
Catering.
spacing and catering
And distribute.
and distribution a little bit. But just growing. Will's Place and Hit the Spot Kitchen's name. We really, again, because we have something to offer regarding to your next generation. In regards to developing in their minds and what food should be, not what it is. Because Frankie,
What it should be.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because Frankie got a job at Dunkin' Donuts. I'm gonna talk that because
Learn real quick.
they learn really quick
About how good you're.
how no ingredients, everything is in frozen packages,
Oh.
and everything is a machine.
yeah.
So they don't get to see. They think they're offering food. They're like, oh yeah, I work in the food establishment, but they're not offering that. They're not learning anything. And so we want to grow because we want the next generation to come in and we teach them how to chop peppers, how to learn ingredients, how to taste things while he's cooking.
So you're gonna coach? You're thinking coaching?
Yeah,
In
because
reference to cooking or
I'm
your
teasing
business?
him because
That's-
I have
that's
No,
the
but I'm
Well-
just. This is what it sounds like.
I think overall our goal is to hopefully inspire people to change their vision about community. And just for
huge.
us, food is the way to do that because food, we've learned, even in doing our ancestry and all that, the there's a food DNA that links us all together. And if you can look, you'll find all the similarities across tables. And then when you bring people to tables, usually you usually don't find you're engrossed in what you're experiencing.
Yeah.
You're not engrossed in all the other stuff that's happening outside. And what we found is that in our kitchen, and he used to hate this about me, but my therapy background really brings, for me, when I'm in the kitchen, it's therapy for me.
Yes.
Cooking. It's where I do therapy outside, so I'm always dealing with people's problems and issues. And
Maria's a
concerns.
licensed therapist.
Yeah, I'm a licensed mental health therapist, so I'm always dealing with real crisis. And so when I'm able to go in the kitchen and then create something beautiful, really,
pictures.
And I do take pictures, but I think I have about 30,000 pictures on my phone, and 20,000 of them are food. Because
And 10,000 are from Cape Charles.
yeah, that's true. So, with food in there too.
That's right.
Anyway, but it becomes therapeutic for me, and then that goes into the food, and then when we serve that, that's what you experience.
Yeah.
Right. So we want it to be a sense of healing, and we've actually had one of the visions Will has, and when he was going through all the things that he could be. A teacher was the first thing he wanted to be,
That's what I went to school
but
for.
it wasn't going to
Yeah,
work for him in a regular classroom. We already
Right.
knew he needed to be in the alternative school,
Right.
so that he could reach the kids that everybody didn't see.
Right.
Because and we won't get into all that, but being able to use the kitchen to help people find
What a
themselves
great idea.
is really what we want.
I
And
love
so we don't necessarily want to be in the cooking the food all the time.
No.
Although we like doing it, we want to teach people to because what we put in there
Teach
is
them how to fish.
right. We
So they
put
feed their village.
exactly. We put our passion. We put what we love about experiencing life together in the food. We want other people to learn how to do that, not just go get a package and heat it up and then you ate it.
To be honest, I have to try because you guys look at each other and you really love what you're doing, and you love each other. I can see that because you're always looking at her and you're smiling at her. So it's really, that's going to be in your food. That's when you get it, you're going to get part of that. That's part of everything in life,
Yeah.
Well, that's what I think when we were at Blackstone, the sense of community that when it was closed, I'm like, oh my God.
Yep.
Where do we go? We all had each other's numbers. Where are you this morning? We missed each other. We had nothing in common
Right.
other than 9 o'clock at the coffee shop.
Yep.
And that sense of community was just disbanded so
Right.
quickly. It
And-
was we
No,
were like
it was
lost
re-
sheep.
You know what? It just transferred over because that's something I created there.
Yes, absolutely.
Right. And I think that the connection that existed between Don and Ryan, and when that energy just came together, and even so, Ryan he provides and at Hit the Spot Kitchen, you're going to get Ryan Moon's coffee. So we joking.
And Don fixed the fridge.
Don still comes over and helps us,
He fixed the
and
fridge for us.
he gives us critiques on new food. Like when Will did the bagels, Don's like, "This is perfect. You just need to get this so it's like this."
Nice.
So we get that. That there have
Stay
been
connected.
those connections that have been meaningful for us, for people that Will has met in the community, people I have met in the community that inspire us. Even our Zeke empanada, if you've had that was inspired by a young man
He was
at
the goalie for
Stafford.
Stafford High
He was a goalie at North Stafford High School when we were doing North Stafford concession, and he would come and he would eat our food like every game.
Didn't
and he'd
matter
be
who
like,
was playing.
right, and he'd be
It was
like
an excuse
eating
for
it
him to
over
come
our
to the
trash
stadium.
can, like he'd be eating it. We're like, I'm like, we gotta name an empanada after him.
Oh.
And he had the big hair. And it was bleached.
Yeah, and he was just a crazy goalie. So we came up with this crazy empanada with chicken and pimento cheese and turmeric and
So the color matched his hair.
it just
I love it.
seemed like him. So that's I think what we want to see happen. But we want people to take that and then recreate it. Like it's like you can't just keep it to yourself. You have to go now do it.
Well, we all have to share. That's why you all are here. It's real estate.
Yeah.
But we do real estate, eat it, drink it, sleep it. But you bring such everybody we want to have in our world because everybody needs to know you all.
Oh gosh.
And and I think that the sense of community that's what we're trying so hard to do with this podcast is to bring everybody in that we love and to share what your passions are because it's about community.
Yeah.
And we've lost that. I hate to say this, but you go to North Stafford, it's like boom, 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 boom. Everybody's just going in different
Yeah, it's like
directions.
box.
Nobody stops and says, hey, how are you?
Yeah.
You know, what's up in your world today? And I think that that's what I am drawn to Fredericksburg for, because there is more of a sense of community, whether it's the college students or it's a coffee shop, but people do slow down and talk to each other. So I love what you guys are doing, and that's we really want to be a part of it and share it. And then tell just a little bit about what your new venture. I don't know if it's new. How long have you been doing therapy?
Oh, I've been in the mental health field since we met.
Since you were with him.
Oh, wow.
Why are you giving away your
Patient
services?
zero.
Yeah. No, I would be volunteering, and he's like, "You're giving away your stuff. You're not getting paid for it." But I'm like, I'm gaining valuable knowledge. So, I mean, I've always been in that. I wanted to actually. I went to UVA, and I majored in sociology, and I knew that I was going to be an FBI profiler. I wanted to profile. That was my passion. But then
Ricky Lake ruined all that.
Ricky Lake, literally, we went on the Ricky Lake show, and that was the end of it. So, if you guys remember Ricky Lake, I'm not. Gonna
I remember her.
Yeah, she's crazy.
But yeah, so then
We were on the show.
yeah, then we so that ended, and then we I ended up staying in that field and just kind of getting involved in social stuff, like just wanting to just different things. I don't even know where I like just pregnant teens and. Ray Cap was around way back in the day. I helped parents with abusive situations going on with their
Birthright.
kids. Birthright. I started with Birthright. So I got just involved because I was trying to be busy. So I was
Right.
doing a lot of volunteering. But ultimately decided to go back to school for social work, and then ultimately went for, decided I wanted to do for therapy for people who've experienced trauma.
That's
She
great.
went
So-
back and got her master's at Howard.
Yeah, I got my master's and did all that, and then finally got my license after a long time. But doing all of that, and then
But Maria's always been coaching for a long time.
yeah, I've always been doing something in the social services type field. But my new venture, it's not really new. So I do private practice therapy. But we are excited about doing some stuff together as a couple, because we recently went to I dragged him with me to a big conference for therapists. And he volunteered and was able to be exposed to my world for once, and really I think loved it. Yeah, and so
Well, you're an awesome listener,
Yeah.
and you always have something soft and gentle. No matter how bad it is, you approach it soft and gently, and I think you.
Yeah, I wonder if you're
he
Latino,
offers-
really.
No,
oh no, he is.
but he offers.
Y'all get something. Some of us know all the time.
But he
I can turn
offers
to Gordon Ramsay real
constructive.
quick.
But you don't. Really?
Oh yes, he can.
Yeah, I was wondering. I said, well,
But I can see you guys doing couple therapy or something.
Well, we're
like
looking
that.
at we're looking at doing couple. We've been, let me just real quick. We've been doing couple stuff for a very long time. We actually went to Rome and met Pope Benedict as part of a couples program.
Oh, really?
When we were with the church, and we were able to go over and got to have an audience, a private audience at his summer home, which was really
Wow.
cool. So we've always been doing couple stuff for us personally,
All the
but
dots are
then
finally connecting.
yes, now everything's kind of coming together for us. And so we're looking at doing like couples mentoring and working with couples who, because we could have a whole other podcast on our life, but our
we will.
our marriage has not always been perfect, and it has been, it's been a shambles, and we've been able to turn it around. And again, 27 years we've been together. And now really say, oh wow, we finally got it. Let's go. And so we know that there's other couples who've experienced that, or who don't know, or who give up too soon.
Right.
And it doesn't mean you have to give up. You can work through, and you can push through if you just know that. And we want to be an example, because people are looking at Kim and Kanye as an example. And I'm like, they're really not, because just because you struggle or somebody does something wrong doesn't mean they can't be forgiven and you can't get stronger.
Right.
So that's kind of where we're going. I have a book that I'm kind of playing around with. I've been like being yelled at for a long time about supposed to write stuff.
oh, that's great.
But, just kind of feeding into what we want to do. And really Cape Charles kind of opened our eyes to like having a couples retreat where we could bring people. And so this is all stuff that we're like in the background.
I think that's
Right
a good
now
place
we
to
gotta-
write your book.
Yes,
Yeah, that's
exactly.
a great place.
I did. I already started.
Oh, you see?
And we actually did start already with the supper club.
Yeah.
That's like the first part of what.
So when is that going to start?
So we started already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do it once a month. last weekend of the month.
You know what? We probably shouldn't tell anybody this.
It's called.
No, I'm just teasing.
Well, there's only
We want to be able to.
There's only 8 tickets.
I know. Hello.
We only sell. 8
You only have 6 now.
There you go.
Yeah, we only sell 8 tickets at a time because we want to keep it intimate.
Yeah.
And then once a month, do a theme. Like this month was March, so we did Irish around the clock, breakfast, lunch, dinner, dessert, and then
I think I said it was my month next month, right?
yes.
Okay, so I don't know what it is yet.
So Maria's gonna pick it, and so we make everything from scratch. Everything.
Yeah, no, the first month was pasta. You did the pasta.
That's right. We did. That's right. We did a pasta one, hand cranked pasta.
And the sauces, we do
Yeah, we
everything.
did all the sauces fresh.
But the goal is to bring, and again, we might have couples ones. There's different things it can be, but we want to use food and use our, that venue as an opportunity to help people come together. Whether it's community, whether it's couples, whether it's like whatever.
That's the next stage, right?
Yeah, so that's kind of, and it's funny because I don't know if y'all have ever seen the show Couples Therapy on Showtime. Oh man, okay.
But if you look it up,
It's exciting for. I guess this is the
Maybe I'll
therapist
put that
life.
on one night for Randy. Couples therapy dude was watching.
no, actually, so it's a Showtime
It's a-
documentary.
It's a documentary. I got to meet the therapist on there. I was a presenter host in her room. It was really cool. Like I was starstruck. I was like nervous. I was like, oh my god, this is the lady. Can I help you with anything? You need anything for me? But it was really cool. But the theme for us this time was there's a lot of couples stuff that was just coming back to us. So I think that's where we're kind of our direction is going.
We definitely want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, we're gonna come back. Or you're gonna come back. We'll all get back together and we'll do round 2.
Therapy.
Another 6. Yeah. We'll therapy. Couples therapy. It's funny because everybody's like, "Are you and Fabio married?" I'm like, are you kidding me? I mean, we each have our obviously our significant others, but it's fun because we are so opposite.
Yeah.
Our worlds are so opposite. Desi and Lucy kind of mentality going on here.
Yeah, I'm always the nice person. I'm always the nice person.
Oh, really? You're sarcastic as hell. But this is, that's kind of what we thought. Because we're different, we're going to bring different.
Yeah.
We want to bring fabulous people to the surface. You're not going to hide anymore.
Uh-oh.
No.
Yeah.
And then, so, that's the case then, because you mentioned in the beginning that we have backers. No, I'll just put it out there because we do want to grow. We, our intention is to scale up.
Okay.
And so if there's any backers out there, we're accepting applications.
Yeah,
Look at him,
we're
relax.
happy to
We're
sit at the
happy
table.
to sit
I've got my pen, paper,
And so,
ready to go.
Well, your track record is always success. You learn, you grow, you learn, you grow, you learn, you grow, success. All the dots are coming together, as you say now, and I think everybody in this community just wants to wrap their arms around you and see you guys push you up, watch you grow. So
We definitely appreciate that. I think we need all the support we can get.
well,
really do.
we everybody stay tuned though, because Fabio and I are going to go to the spot, and we will.
We're gonna try
share-
to cook
No,
some.
I'm not cooking. I'm
not a good cooker.
I'll
So
let
anyway.
Will cook, and he can share his.
Yeah.
What are the rolls?
the Mallorca breads.
Yes.
Mallorca,
Oh my God, they're just.
So that's from
beautiful.
Spain or something like that?
So Mallorca traditionally originated from Spain.
From Spain.
The town of Mallorca.
Mallorca, yes.
And so it's just a sweet bread.
Yeah, but there's more history to it. We learned. Because you said the ones with the lard or the pork, right?
Yeah.
It's a specific way to do it. I think it's been adapted.
So the Mallorca actually has been adapted because the original way, this book I was reading, the original way that Mallorcas were made, you top it off with butter. But the original way to do it is
With pork fat.
pork fat.
We'll put it right here.
That's the original way. It had a different name,
Yes.
but because the evolution,
Yeah, we're definitely food.
Yeah. I never tried that before, so I need to try that.
Listen,
Yeah.
and a little
We're
powdered
gonna
sugar,
come.
we put a little powdered sugar on top, and then we do a play on my Monte Cristo, ham, Swiss, little deli mustard.
I'm getting hungry.
yeah, we're definitely foodies. We're gonna bring a lot of different things to the table, and I think it just
We bring a lot, period.
well, we're looking like we
I
want to
know, yeah.
connect with people who love good food. Like we will go places and we will seek out the chef We will seek out to talk to them.
Yeah,
we
made me really get out of my comfort zone
Oh,
with
no.
that one. She's like,
We go meet the
ask the
chef.
chef.
Go ask for the chef.
huh?
Always ask for the
Good.
chef.
okay.
Yeah,
But
so
you know what they love? They may not want to talk to because they are in the kitchen. They are comfortable there. They're probably just as uncomfortable as you are visiting with you about their passion.
Yeah.
But once you probably bring it out,
well, we just tell them we want to thank you and we want to honor this time with you, that we loved whatever you were doing. This is what we got. Can we take a picture because we want to honor this space? So we've gone and we've met so many chefs.
Yeah,
like
the one I never forget is the one
in Philly.
huh?
Oh,
Yeah, I forgot about Philly.
Christina Martinez. You
Yeah.
can't forget her.
No,
Yeah.
she's the top one.
Yeah.
She's on the documentary Chef's Table and
And she's doing big
Netflix.
things
Oh, really?
in Philly. Yeah. But that's again, that's what we are bringing. Like when you come, that's why. Like we want whatever excitement we got when we ate the food. Like
it's not just for us. We have
Right.
to share it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway,
As we all should.
I think I went on a tangent. Sorry.
No.
We got that feeling.
Well, we thank you guys.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, and Maria, I think this is like the first time I've really heard you talk.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
She
She is the quiet one,
Oh,
but
really?
she's the quiet
Oh.
storm behind you. You can see.
Maria's a
always.
very
Well, you
short
did a
introvert.
great job, to be honest. I
But
mean,
that, and in all
beautiful.
fairness, let me just say this: I'm an introvert, and most introverts like an audience. That's really actually true.
I'm just like
Yeah.
you too, introvert.
You don't want to.
Very introvert.
Yeah, we have to move the mic away from you. It gets so loud.
No, but it's different. Introverts don't necessarily want to be in the front of the truck,
Yeah.
but we don't have a problem, sharing our passions.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
nice.
I can tell that about you guys. You know.
Well, thank you so much, you
Thank you.
guys. Anyway, thank you so much for all of you all.
Hit the Spot Kitchen, 3318 Bourbon Street.
And what do? We hit like. What's your Facebook? Do you have a Facebook page?
Oh,
What's the
Lord.
place where?
So Will's Place,
Instagram?
Will's Place VA for the food truck, and Hit the Spot Kitchen.
Okay.
Instagram, Facebook, maybe Twitter. But I mean, I'm the one who's doing. If anybody wants to come get an internship with the marketing, I'm happy to invite you.
Oh, we want you to market for us.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what we need. That's what we need. But anyway, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in and watching us. We really appreciate any questions, any comments. Hit it in the Facebook thing, and then
Click,
please
click.
hit subscribe. Subscribe.
Subscribe.
Surprise!
Subscribe.
Hey, that was.
So glad you joined us today.
Please message us on Facebook, and Fabio and I will respond to all your questions as soon as possible,
Find us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast.
or anywhere you listen to your podcast.